You're right. They have a lot to do with it. I mean, you have this tightness in the liquidity of the forex market. They couldn't get access to forex, and then you have the rates that went, sky high. That definitely affected. In fact, a lot of our investors lost a huge amount of money due to the devaluation of the naira, and so that affected investment sentiments. So, but now that you are beginning to have some stability in the forex market, some of the factors that led to this kind of investment, sentiments is being reversed, and we expect that things will move on. Also, just like Ada said there, the community issues, community hostilities, and political elite interference in access to land. We have identified them. We are engaging the communities. We have asked the federal government to talk to state governments about providing, easy access to land. Sugarcane needs large quantities of, hectares of land, and we can't do that without the cooperation of the state government. So a lot of the factors that militated against, fast tracking the implementation, we are trying to address them, and they came from the midterm review we just had.
Thank you. We appreciate that. So I got two of you on a consensus there. Again, but if we look at the global markets, let's come back to Dr. Busari just a few seconds. If we go back to the global market and we look at where prices are coming through in terms of sugar, your reports looking at improved harvest conditions in Brazil and India will weigh on prices. So I'm just thinking where the prices are at the moment from the global perspective, speaking to that, because whether we like it or not, we don't have enough on the local front, so we got to import.
Yeah, so if you look at, we track prices using the Bloomberg portal anyway. So prices at the beginning on the first quarter of 2017 was as high as 18 cents, but now prices have slumped to about 13 or 12 cents. So what most analysts predict is that the production deficit that we've had for many years is actually slowly easing out. So we forecast some sort of production surplus going into the next year. So India expects some sort of bumper harvest, and India is one of the largest producers of sugar. Brazil as well expects a bumper harvest because the droughts in the region has been taken care of. So now they have more rainfall, which is very favorable to the production of sugar. And again, so looking at it from the global production front, we expect a bumper harvest. But then looking at it from the consumption front, China and India, which are the largest consumers of this, have they're reducing their consumption of sugar. I mean, part of the reasons are health. They're being more health conscious, and they're more healthy substitutes as opposed to using sugar. So sugar consumption is reducing. So what we expect is a surplus of production and a soft demand from the global front.
I want to find out. Let's find out together from the NSDC Director General, Dr. Busari. Thank you very much, Director General. Is there any part of this master plan relating to, at some point within the master plan lifespan, that Nigeria would export sugar to any part of the world?
Can you please come again? I couldn't catch that question. Can you please come again?
The question was this: is there any part of the master plan that says Nigeria should be able to export sugar at some point between the 10-year master plan that you currently implemented?
No, not at all. The 10-year master plan is to get us to achieve self-sufficiency. Whatever will happen about export will come in after that. We want to get Nigeria to be able to produce all the sugar it consumes between now and 2023, when we project that we'll be needing roughly about 1.7, 1.8 million metric tons. When we achieve the self-sufficiency, and whatever excess is then produced, we can then begin to talk of export. But we don't think we will achieve that. We'll be able to do that before the expiration of the master plan, the 10-year period.
In other words, this master plan is almost 100% about domestic consumption, domestic production, refining, and all of that, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. How does that hit you?
Right.
If we are able to do
self-sufficiency, actually, so that we are able to.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, self-sufficiency, he says. You agree with that? So, I'm looking at about 20,000 1 year high for Lagos price where I have 50 kg of sugar. Do you think if you have sustainability, I'm looking at a bag of sugar way below this figure staring back at me?
Yes, so if we reach a target of reaching self-sufficiency in the long term, that would definitely affect the price. So we wouldn't have to depend so much on importing sugar for consumption. Then we'll have to consume what we have locally. So that would definitely bring down the price of sugar consumed.
Okay, thank you. Finally, Executive Secretary at the NSDC, Dr. Busari, where do we go from here, and how much do you think will still be achieved in the number of years left of this master plan?
Well, we have asked the operators to submit a revised BIP plans, and we have also rejigged the monitoring templates, and like I said, we revised the guidelines under which they could have access to the raw sugar. When you put all this together, we believe we'll be able to, if not hit the 100% that we planned by 2023, when the plan will come to an end, we should be close to 80–85%, and which I think will be good enough. Given a year or two after that one, we should get to where we expect to be. So going forward, I believe we are still in pole position to achieve the self-sufficiency targets that we set for ourselves.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the program today and providing some insight into that master plan news that we've had in the last 48 hours. Thank you very much for coming through. The Executive Secretary in charge of National Sugar Council, Development Council, NSDC, Dr. Busari from our Abuja studios. And, of course, Ada Konobi, thank you very much for coming through on the program. Research analyst from Financial Derivatives Company. See you some other time.
Thank you.
And again, we can share some sugar in a cup of tea.